June of 2026 could very well be the greatest month of Pokemon Go this year. And the reason why I say that is because on top of us getting some Pokemon Go Fest events, we are also going to be getting some insanely good raiding content, as well as a couple of other things to look forward to. And I'm going to be going over all of it in today's video. Let's get right into it. Hey, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your week is going really well, and let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about all of the content coming to Pokemon Go in the month of June, and what I will say right now is that this is looking to be a really solid month. We're going to be getting some amazing raiding content finally, and we're also getting a whole bunch of in-game events you don't want to miss. And I think it's also about time we've had ourselves a good month. I do always think that Niantic will save some of the best content for the summer months, mainly because there's going to be a lot more Pokemon Go activity, and I think they're definitely doing that with the month of June. So yeah, let's go over all the details, and afterwards let me talk about some of the things that we could look forward to with this month. So in the month of June, we are going to be getting the first month of the Forever Forward season, and the featured Pokemon for this month is going to be Celesteela, Kartana, as well as Necrozma. Kartana is one of the best raid battling Pokemon in the game, and it doesn't often come back to raid battles, so you will definitely want to utilize the raid battles to get yourself a good Kartana. You do not want to miss out on this one Pokemon. We'll talk more about that later. Now, in terms of max battles, these are going to be the Dynamax Pokemon that'll be available during this month. From June 1st until June 7th, we're going to have Inkay. From June 8th until the 14th, we're going to have Electabuzz. And then from the 15th until the 21st, we're going to get Rock'n'Rolla. That's actually a pretty decent one. And then from the 22nd until the 28th, we're going to have Hoot Hoot. And then finally from the 29th until July 5th, we're going to have Pidove. Now, I want to talk about the 5-star raids for this month because it's kind of rare that we have every single week have a relevant Pokemon, and it seems like that's going to be the case this time around. From June 3rd until June 9th, we're gonna have Reshiram, a very powerful fire-type legendary Pokemon, and then from the 10th until the 16th, we're gonna have Zekrom, also a very powerful Pokemon, and then from the 17th until the 23rd, we're going to have Necrozma, and then from the 24th until the 30th, we're gonna have Celesteela in the Southern Hemisphere, and then Kartana in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, of course, Kartana is going to be the highly valuable Ultra Beast among these two, so if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, make sure you're doing a whole bunch of Kartana raids, and unfortunately, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you might want to get some remote raid passes in order to get some Kartanas. Kartana is a very powerful Pokemon, especially when it comes to raid battles. It is one of those Pokemon that I think of as absolutely essential. So you will definitely want to farm it up, try to get yourself a 100% IV of this Pokemon, and also possibly get yourself a shiny. Now, coinciding with all of these raid battles, we're going to be getting the following Mega Evolution raids. From June 3rd until the 9th, we're going to have Mega Audino. From the 10th until the 16th, we're going to have Mega Lopunny. From the 17th until the 23rd, we're going to have Mega Scizor, and then from the 24th until the 30th, we're gonna have Mega Pidgeot. None of these truly stand out. Maybe Mega Scizor is going to be a good one, but most of these are just basically Pokedex entries. They're not going to be the top tier Mega Evolutions. You're basically just looking at a whole bunch of Pokedex entries. Next up, let's talk about what the events are going to be during this month. From June 2nd until June 8th, we're going to get Spark's Quest for Caretaking. This is going to be the tie-in event to Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago. And then from the 9th until the 15th, we're going to get Candela's Quest for Victory. Again, this is going to be a tie-in event to Pokemon Go Fest in Copenhagen. And then we're going to have a community day on June 20th, which was recently announced to be Frigibax. That is a pretty big one. Frigibax is definitely a community day you do not want to miss. And then from the 23rd until the 29th, we're going to have the Flying Taxi event. Very big hint on what Pokemon that's going to be all about. And then we're going to have a Taken Over event alongside it on June 25th until the 29th. That's another big one. Team Go Rocket Takeover events tend to be really important. And then finally, we're gonna have a Mega Raid Day on June 27th. They did not announce what that Pokemon is going to be, but I'm assuming it's going to be one of the new Mega Evolutions, or possibly a really good one from the past. And then of course these are going to be the raid hours. They're going to be coinciding with the legendary releases from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. on every Wednesday. You're going to have Reshiram on June 3rd, Zekrom on June 10th, Necrozma on June 17th, and Celesteela or Kartana, depending on your hemisphere, on June 24th. Oh, and this is a really big one for this month. In 5-star Shadow Legendary raids during the entire month, we're going to have Shadow Dialga. This isn't the origin form, of course, but Shadow Dialga is a very powerful Pokemon. You don't want to miss out on this one. In some cases, it is often considered the absolute best when it comes to Dragon-type raid damage, aside from Mega Rayquaza. So don't miss out on this one. This is actually a really good Shadow Legendary, and that means there's going to be all around just really great raiding content during this month. Alright, so first and foremost, the raiding content. I mean, for the very fact that we're getting Kartana back in raids, that is a pretty big deal because it is a very solid Pokemon for raid battles. And then of course, with the Shadow Legendary Pokemon for this month, yeah, we're actually getting a good one. Shadow Dialga is definitely a game changer. I'm really excited about getting it, and the fact that it's going to be available throughout the entire month, that is a pretty big deal. This means that regardless of the raid rotation, you will be able to get Shadow Dialgas from Shadow Legendary raids. It's just going to be available at any time. I like that. I think it's great because when it comes to Shadow Legendary raids, if the raid boss is not necessarily anything good, then people will tend to skip out on it. But this month, there will always be that consistent stream of raiding content. And I also like the fact that we're getting a whole bunch of really solid events. We're getting a community day that's going to be really good, which is going to be Frigiback's community day that was also recently announced. And then of course, we have a variety of different Pokemon Go Fest themed events, where there's going to be tie-in events to every live in-person Pokemon Go Fest. And it's all going to lead up to Pokemon Go Fest Global, which is going to be next month, the following month in July. And I think they're just giving us a whole bunch of things to do until then. Overall, I'm really impressed by this month. I think Niantic did a really good job packing it with a lot of great stuff, and I am certainly looking forward to it. I think it's about time, because the month of May was very dull. There was just not much to do. The raiding content wasn't that good. I think some of the raid bosses that they picked for the month of May, it felt like filler content. It didn't feel like there was anything substantial. I mean, Nihilego was definitely good. It was nice going after a Pokemon that actually had some relevance, but this time around, yeah, we're getting a whole bunch of good raids. I mean, Reshiram and Zekrom, for example, those are really powerful Pokemon. You can use them for fusions, of course. If you fuse them with Kyurem, you're gonna get really powerful Pokemon, but them by themselves, they're actually really good. And then of course, with Kartana, of course, it's only going to be in the Northern Hemisphere, so for the people in the Southern Hemisphere, sorry about that, but it's one of the best Pokemon in the game. You definitely want to get yourself good Kartana, and of course farm the candies to power up Kartana. It's going to be really handy for Pokemon Go Fest Global with all the different raid battles. And then Necrozma, that's a really solid Pokemon as well. Just the raiding content seems like it's going to be always really good. It's been a while since we've had that. It feels like some months we have maybe one really good raid boss, the rest of the raid bosses are just filler, they're just Pokedex entries. This time around, it seems like every single week we're going to have a solid Pokemon. It's just feeling really good. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really good month. I think it's something that we could all look forward to, and I'm very excited to see how the Pokemon Go community is going to react to it. Some of you might be disappointed, some of you might be just focusing on certain aspects of the game, totally understandable, but I think this is all looking pretty good. Also, this is going to be the first month of a new season, which I think is going to be a pretty decent season. It's going to be called Forever Forward. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff related to Pokemon Go Fest with this season. It's the summer season. I'm curious to see how it's all going to pan out, but it's going to be pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else really to talk about. This is all the content that's coming in the month of June. Again, I think it's going to be a really solid month. Lots of great rating content, lots of great events. And if you're attending any of the Pokemon Go Fest events, like in Chicago or Copenhagen, you're also going to have a really good time. And I'm going to be in Chicago, so of course, because it's my home city, Chicago is only an hour away from me with traffic. It's actually more like 30 minutes, but yeah, I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll see a bunch of you there. Let me know your thoughts regarding all the content this month. If you feel like it's actually a disappointment, I would like to know why. Definitely share those thoughts in the comments. yeah, let's have a great discussion. And if you enjoyed this video, found it to be informative and helpful, make sure you hit that like button for this video. That would support my channel quite a lot. And also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload videos. Also consider checking out the links in the description below. One of them is to my Patreon page, and if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, best way you could do that is by becoming a Patreon member, because I add all my patrons to my Pokemon Go friends list. So yeah, if that is something that interests you, go and check it out. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next video.
Jinsula